guys, and welcome to Roadwarden. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city walls. I'll go with standard. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for, but you were supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and peddlers, but not these folks, no trolls. And the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. You had a long day. I will dismount and sneak to the gate and speak inside. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice bowl of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I push the gate slowly. It's a military camp, which doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice a quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drum song from the city heart. You look around cautiously. The people inside the camp didn't even notice a clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. Doesn't look much of a threat. It's really trying to tell me to find another shelter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace, with a head covered in iron, hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sitting here half a year ago, these two surely look the part. But there shouldn't be more of them. 8 would leave. I asked them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question? Humble, intimidating, distance, playful, friendly. A playful kind of guy. I'm sure you're busy, so if you could just introduce me to your lieutenant. Oh, that sounds almost rude. I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Can we talk for a bit? Lieutenant, or they speak with someone who's not really. So that's rude. A long journey. I need to have a word with your lieutenant. I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Can we talk for a bit? The woman without a loud sigh dusts off her gambeson and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I. Though, holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or are you looking for help? I'm a new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The shoulder... Oh, no. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. I shake her hand. I'm... Well, Billy Chez, of course. Her grasp is confident, the shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tent. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but it's also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side is a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive. Without it, you would be lost too. It's my only companion here. I wanted to feel at ease. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with a endless snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You'll end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back just in case. Well, the riding equipment is not heavy for such a strong animal. With enough time, it starts to chafe. You wish you had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the crimson corpse eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Be a fighter, a mage, or scholar. Certainly not a mage or a scholar, so I'll be the fighter. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here, just in case. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, and food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beasts chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at the previous unused end of the table. You can sit down in a tree low. I join them and take a look at the meal. It's cold. The meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to do work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. They eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, and speak with Tulia. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can't tell you less than I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other shoulder. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead. 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, do a magic trick, whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What do the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received, since this area is too far away from Havlavon to keep it under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we stop? What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? One on a decent palfrey, I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route I'll follow allows Havlavon officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to camp, but when we travel to the roadside inn, Bell of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and well, he turns towards Julia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Belichez, but are you a devout soul? I be part of the United Church, an order of truth, place in my fellowship, am I pagan, or am I not a devout soul? I would say there's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I am not. The man nods. I heard that most Roadwardens drift away from the churches. Doesn't matter to me, to neither of us, I think, adds the lieutenant, peeping at her companion. I just wanted to make sure I won't step on any touchy subject. You won't? Go ahead. The people here are disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with her fingers. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here, she starts to draw lines with her index finger as she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle in the northwest. You'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She meets the fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they've had to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy the river of faith. The United Church often warned its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Humankind, that's right. We're able to speak with these necromancers. You can see why we're not eager to go there if we can avoid it, the lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a road warden. The roads are dangerous, with littles and no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're headed to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Julia nods. Pelt of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or to the guards, ask them about the road. And how about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There were hills, forests, rivers. We saw tunnels sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Any monster worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, spiked boars, wolflin eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with us, with most birds. Julia glances at her companion, though a path should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. That's all I need to know. She nods. I'm afraid we can't do more for you. Any ideas on what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Julia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him in almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit in between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped at their camp a few times, but stopped showing up early in the summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Astarion never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man coughs with passion. We haven't seen him or his Saurian. Something ain't them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged, meat-eating Saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us have any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Astarion's stuff. Wait! She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Havavon. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions, quite a treasure. She glances at you, but I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of their sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Havavon together. You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Havavon in the early fall anyways. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, but stout, long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So, find out what happened to him. Dead? Alive? Left? Just let me know. I've lost my rope. Could you spare one? You are in luck. She heads to one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down in her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. A fine rope. A regular rope made of hemp fibers. Buy for $0. Oh, I should have bought her food, whatever. Tulia nods. For now, you leave the rope on the table. What happened of your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in the spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would have all died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there tonight, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. Tulia sighs. Very much so. They killed some and took others away, who knows where. And they were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. Kind of worked, added the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make the mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over the camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least, we cleared the road, saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant, another one ignored my orders to perform some of a ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he had a cut on his hand while cleaning his gambeson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle, we had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north to find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. Barely. Julia seems tired, and who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. Julia, how did you become a lieutenant? It's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of what should I call it. She exchanges with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Avlavon chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they are replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were his successor? Nah, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped in to save him, but failed to protect either of them from a smell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. These are dead. And you were the third one in line, right? Basically, yeah, she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once you return to the city. I prefer to follow anyways. What was your squad's mission? Lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the road safe, keeping people alive. I explained that it may be important for the mission what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. You sense no hesitation. Do you have any other questions? Anything I should know about this camp? Oh, I bet if I fed her the food, she'd tell me. The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys. Just between the end and the southern villages, there's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned. From time to time, serving as a shelter for travelers, the bandits came here in the spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here wherever you want. The man concludes their tale, though don't expect to wake up without the pain in your back. If you were me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quietly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentions Julia, but the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have the chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen, and he knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good first impression on him? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. It's getting late. We should prepare for the night. I agree. Julia sighs with relief, and you may do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. One more thing, if I can. The bearded man approaches you. Can you take the first watch? Splitting time between 3 people makes a great difference. You think for a moment? To fully rest, you need a good sleep. Sure, leave it to me. Fabulous. He pats your shoulder. It should be calm, at least before midnight. Wake me up in a few hours, or even earlier if anything happens. I'm happy to do my part. Go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I prepare for my watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud whirlik that keeps smelling the wall, though has never tried to eat it. He points at the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if this someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire, and the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? He gives you a long, puzzled look. Oh, here. He points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view at the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points at the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours of sleeping on the ground if you wish. Go there after me and rest. Just this once. At least I have a pallet inside. I smile. Thanks a lot. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment from time to time. Your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see 3 horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a 2-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The fury beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight, nor admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of muskoxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent. Waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words to confirm that nothing important has happened. I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the pallet, and cover myself with my cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's much welcomed rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from the eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. Focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Havlavon, officials, and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, and necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. This does not actually feel like a lot of time. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Havlavon. There you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Oh, I need to gather some extra coins so I can save my sibling from debt collectors. I need to gather some extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity and safety. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use them to become a major player in the Merchant Guild. I want to be remembered as the soul who brought peace and order to this realm, a hero. I just want to help people, make this region safer for the locals and newcomers alike. I need to find myself a new life for myself. I have a difficult path, and I want to be forgotten. This one sounds like a lie, since I'm here for the Havlavon officials. This one here, I honestly don't think it'd help my sibling. Retiring early's lame. Yeah, alright, I'll have a difficult past. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. All I can do now is rest. Sleeping in a tent. You can spend the night in a borrowed tent. It's nothing special, but it will protect you from the wind and rain and the ground. Won't be painfully hard nor cold. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. And that will be the end of this episode of Roadwarden.